Hello, Hatboro-Horsham. I'm Scott Eveslage, Superintendent of Schools here for the Hatboro-Horsham School District. As students have been transitioning to the remote model to a hybrid model, we've been working diligently over the last few months to make sure that the program is both instructionally sound, meaningful for students, and safe for all participants in our school community. So we thought it would be beneficial for us to have an opportunity to talk to our school principals at all three levels, at the elementary level, high school level, the middle school level, just to get a sense of what the school experience will be for students upon their return. I'm here with Hatboro-Horsham High School Principal Dennis Williams. Thank you, Mr. Williams, for joining me this morning. Just had a few questions for our families and students about the return to school. As we've transitioning from a fully remote program to a hybrid program, what can students and families expect through this experience?
So one of the things that has been exciting for us is really kind of trying to determine how we were going to maintain the face-to-face experience, recognizing that the remote experience wasn't necessarily ideal, and looking at our schedule from a hybrid perspective, bringing our students back in. We wanted to make sure that we maintained a similar schedule. So what students will notice is that our courses will have the same exact progression, so period 1, period 2, period 3, period 4, period 5, as we would in a traditional schedule. We have adjusted our schedule from 75 minutes to 60-minute classes. One of the things we've also done is we've removed the 3 hats periods, and we are only going to have 2 hats and lunch periods. In terms of what the classroom experience will look like, we're excited about the opportunity, once again, to have our students face-to-face with our teachers.
One of the challenges we know students have been facing is just the opportunity to socialize with their peers. So when we return to more in-person instruction, what can we expect as far as students having to overcome some of those challenges and get a chance to interact with one another?
I think one of the most exciting things about this is one, having students back in the building. I can't tell you how many emails and messages that we've gotten from kids, either through our Twitter account or through traditional email, about just missing being in the building, being in school. So I think that will certainly play a significant role in terms of the way that our students feel. We're excited about the opportunity to have our teachers face-to-face. They miss their teachers, and let's be honest, we miss our kids. For 7+ hours a day, we have an opportunity to see them grow, both from an academic standpoint and also a social-emotional standpoint. So it's our hope that that socialization piece will be an added benefit to being back in the building. We're looking forward to our freshmen and having an opportunity to work with them a little bit before everybody else comes in. These are students who are new to the Hatter family and unfortunately haven't really had a transition process. So getting them in the building, getting them accustomed to what it's going to look like when 700+ other students are in the building, I think is important for us. So we're really looking forward to that. Our teachers are excited with an opportunity just to be able to work with students. And that's something that hasn't happened in the last 7 months.
When students return in person, we obviously want to prioritize safety. So you talked a little bit about the schedule and what the schedule will look like as far as how students will have those opportunities to academically engage with their teachers. Can you talk a little bit about some of the safety measures that will be in place? What will the day look like from a masking perspective, from a social distancing perspective, and talk a little bit about experiences like lunch. Like, what will that look like for students when they return?
So for us, trying to be mindful of bringing 700+ students back into the building, we needed to really kind of evaluate everything from what do we do when the buses arrive throughout the course of the day and then as our buses leave later on in the afternoon. So we've been mindful about what our building looks like and the signage in our building. We will have one-way hallways, we will have one-way stairwells. In addition, for things like lunches, our large gathering areas, we're going to use as many areas of our building as we can. So in the morning when students arrive, students will either be assigned to the auditorium, to the cafeteria, or to the gymnasium. That will allow us to effectively and efficiently ensure that students are social distance, 6 feet apart, and they will all have designated areas. We're going to work to create those designated areas based on the bus that they come in on, and then also for our drivers and riders. When we hit another large gathering area like passing time, right, where we have hundreds of students in the hallway at one time, That is the purpose and the rationale behind the one-way hallways and stairwells. So with that, knowing that that could take some additional time, we've actually extended our passing time from 5 minutes to 8 minutes. When we talk about lunches, our food service department has been tremendous in terms of working with us to plan. And our students will be eating lunch in different parts of the building. We'll have about 110 students in the cafeteria, close to 200 in the auditorium, and another 80 to 100 in the gymnasium. I'm also potentially looking at the possibility of putting tents in our courtyard, which will create some additional space for students. All of those students will be socially distanced at 6 feet. We will have lunch tables in each of those areas. Students will have 3 options for lunch. It'll be a grab and go format for lunches, so there'll be no special orders. But we think that those are the kinds of things that in our non-instructional areas that we think will be positive. When it comes to dismissal at the end of the day, our day will end at 1:42. I know that sounds odd, but it'll end at 1:42. And what we're working on is to create various exits for our students. Traditionally, on a regular day, all of our students come out through the main entrance, right? This time, because of the situation that we're in, we want to ensure that our students can exit from any part of the building. So we will have our security guards at all entrances. So if a student is in the B wing, they can leave through the B wing entrance. As we work through this process and getting our students on their buses in a safe and efficient way, this will also allow all of our drivers and riders to get off campus, which should make things a little bit easier for our buses. So we're working extremely hard to try to make sure that we're prepared for our students. When you have 700 plus kids in the building, there's a lot of things that you need to consider in terms of social distancing and the safety and welfare of students.
Mr. Williams, you've been here a long time. You're a graduate of this high school. You've been the principal here for a while, and nobody has more Hatter pride than you. When you think about the ways that you want to help our students be successful upon their return, what tips do you have for families, for students, as they return to this new hybrid type of instructional program?
I think one of the things that our students need to understand, and our parents, is that this is a work in progress. There's been a lot of effort put into this. There's a lot of excitement surrounding it. We want our kids, more than anything, to remain engaged. To make sure that they are taking care of their responsibilities, whether they're in the building for those 2 days or at home. Content is critical, obviously, but the opportunity to engage is even more critical. We still want our students to participate in clubs and activities. Those things will still be available for them. So what we tell our students all the time is the more you are connected, the more you are engaged with your teachers, with things outside of the classroom, the better the experience will be for you. That's been a little difficult over the last few months, right? But we believe that getting back into the building for our students will create a little bit of a sense of calm in some of this craziness that we're dealing with right now. And our hope as an administrative team and as a teaching staff, is that we can start to reestablish some of that Hatter pride that we've been known for. So we're excited about that.
Thank you, Mr. Williams, your administrative staff, your teaching staff, all of your staff working so hard to create a successful return for our students. I appreciate your flexibility and your work to make this happen.
Thank you very much, Dr. Eveslage. Looking forward to seeing you, Hatters.
Families, just wanted to remind you to please check the website regularly for updates on our return to school, health metrics, and other important information as the school reopening. I want to thank you for your partnership, for your communication, and for your flexibility. I wish you a successful school year. Thank you.